And moving on with the discussion, I will be interested in what some of the most rewarding moments in your career has been. You are obviously a great teacher and have won a National Best Teacher Award in Ghana, which in many terms could be a great achievement. But when you reflect or you look at your career, what has been some of the moments that make you feel like you're in the right profession?
When your learners excel.
I like the way you said that.
Climb better and they are doing well. That is the greatest fulfillment. When they come back and they take you back to when they are in the classroom. That is the winning the best teacher is just everybody's the best teacher, but being recognized is it's a reminder of all the seeds that have been put on that are germinating. And so for me, my greatest reward has always been learners excel.
That's the joy of seeing your students understanding, enjoying learning, and excelling. Should bring a lot of fulfillment to teachers.
Yeah.
Thanks so much for sharing that.
Yeah.
Now, dwelling on your classroom, what are some of your day-to-day activities? It's like there are people who are listening who may not have a good idea what it takes to be a teacher in the classroom. Everyone would know teachers as people who go to the classroom, prepare a lesson to teach. Can you give us a window into your work as a teacher? What time do you have to go to school? What are some of the things you have to do? Around what time do you close? How does an average day in your school look like for you?
So, for me, the work of a teacher transcends beyond the four walls of the classroom. And the work we do as teachers goes beyond just the 8 hours. Because even in my bed, I think of the children. Even while I'm sleeping, I'm thinking of the new strategy that can be adopted to teach that child who is not doing well in the classroom better. When school closes and everybody is gone home, that is when you have to sit down to mark to prepare your teaching notes. Your lesson notes, all right, but you have to prepare teaching notes, prepare teaching learning materials, help clean the environment, help clean the school, and put up new things to make the school and the learners better. And so the role of other teachers goes lead us. Our job actually is a 24-hour job, because teachers will tell you that even in their homes, they are thinking about that one child at the corner who is either not happy in class, or that one child at the corner who comes to school without books, or that one child at the corner whose uniform doesn't look well and needs replacement.
Sorry, I think the line broke again there. And so you were talking about your day-to-day activities and was extending or making the point that it goes beyond 24 hours. So I'll let you continue with that and then on that note before we move to the next few questions. Yeah, so we were talking about some of people's perceptions about teaching and the fact that there's a lot of time. And you did explain that the teaching profession does not start and end in the classroom and goes beyond that, which is a really interesting point. I feel like in the midst of the challenges you have had to deal with, to what extent has your perseverance taken you? At that times, in your career that you felt like giving up, or you questioned your choice to become a teacher?
So I've never questioned my choice of becoming a teacher. I don't remember. For the 12 years, I've never questioned. Even in my most angry, when I'm angry at the children, or when I feel things are not going as expected, never have I ever doubted that that's all I've ever wanted to do. My strongest belief is that God will always work it out. That's what I always say. And His grace will sustain. And so in my path, in my career, I see the teaching as a ministry. I see that is where I've been called to be, to teach teachers, or to teach the young ones, or to make things around me better.
Yeah.
That's how I've seen it. And so I've never doubted that that's all I've ever wanted to be.
Well, that's really interesting. I feel what I hear is someone who it's considered this career as a calling, and such that even in difficult moments you feel that you would continue to persevere and do what you do. So that tells a lot about your perseverance. So congratulations on your award. And we will be wrapping up a bit. I want to get your opinion on the involvement of teachers in education policy making. As someone who has been honored at the national level by government, what's your view on teachers' involvement in policy making? Personally, have you been involved in shaping any teacher policy, either teacher education or professional development policy? And do you think teachers should be involved in this domain?
Yes, of course. I've not directly been involved in any policy now, but one of the things that I always question and I ask is, at what level are teachers picked to participate in decision making and formulation of policies and coming out with documents that affect the children? I believe that the involvement of teachers is very key, because they have direct access to what's happening on the ground.
Yeah.
They are in the classroom. They are implementing the ideas in the curriculum. And so if there are anything to be changed, their input is critical. And so I don't know if teachers are involved. I'm sure they've been involved. I'm also looking forward to being part of that discussion around the table to effect changes and to make things better. And so I believe that the involvement of teachers is really critical, because they are directly in the classroom and they can really make critical input.
Yeah. The involvement of teachers in education policy making is critical, because they are directly involved with the student. That is a good point to make, and I am sure that if that opportunity calls, a lot of you who are excellent teachers would be happy to contribute to government policy in education in different ways. I feel that some of, having the honor of being recognized by government, by the National Teaching Council, it gives you some leverage in terms of voice. And so if the Ministry of Education, the Ghana Education Service, the National Teaching Council would be open to your views or your suggestions, are there any issues that you're very passionate about that you think must be addressed? What would be what would be your contribution, or what would be your policy or interventions if you were asked to shape this discourse or policy?
So there have been three things actually that I've been thinking about.
Yeah.
Number one is reducing the number of courses that the children do at the lower grade.
Okay, can you be specific? By lower grade, do you mean lower primary?
Yeah, so from primary 1 to primary... No, I think from primary 1 to primary 6, yes.
Okay.
From primary 1 to let's take it from primary 1 to primary 4, and then 4 to 6. So 1 to 4, I'm looking at they doing only 4 courses or 5 courses. So where they are doing only math, English, science, and then the social sciences. So just 4.
How many courses, from your knowledge, do they do now, and why do you think it should be reduced?
Okay, so I'm going to cut out on the number of courses they are doing. I'm not going to talk about that. But I feel it should be reduced because the basics is for the child to be able to read and write and do basic arithmetics. So the ability of the child to read and write and do basic arithmetics will influence all the others as the child progresses. And since the child is now learning concepts, learning a lot of things around him or her, if the child is limited to... The fifth one that I want to talk about is learning languages. So learning a different language, either French, Spanish. Yes, either French or Spanish. Yeah. Now, I feel that if the subjects are reduced because they are doing creative, whatever, a lot of things. So if all of them are imbibed into just 4 or 5, then there is focus, there is direction. The child is learning how to read, it's all reading. The child is learning science, it's all science. The child is learning how to calculate, it's calculation. The child is learning about the environments, about the culture, about whatever is happening in the community. It's also put into one. This will go a long way of reducing the burden of the child carrying a lot of books, 1. 2, the child having to study a lot of things at the same time, because if the child is going to become a doctor or an engineer, then after the child has gone through this phase of basic 1 to basic 4, 5 to 6, the moment the child gets to the secondary level, then the child is focusing only on the engineering. And so this is what I want to be. You don't get to the university because before you are now going to start majoring in engineering after you studied a lot of things that are not really concerned about what you are looking at becoming in the next couple of years. And so I believe that if the stakeholders in their engagement and consultations will consider the reduction of the courses that the children do at the pre-tertiary level.
Yeah.
There is the introduction of a new curriculum, so we call it the Common Core.
Yeah.
The Common Core is seeking to bridge this gap.
Okay.
I feel that a lot can be done to bridge the gap more. And so that's one of the things that I'll quickly will love the stakeholders to actually pay attention to.
Yeah, that's interesting. I mean, what I get from you is to reduce the cognitive load that young students from the first or early grades go through, so they can focus on getting their reading, arithmetic, and other skills, and then they can build on those skills. Yeah. You mentioned there are 3 things. Would you want to share the others?
Oh, exactly. The other is making, going back to where teacher education was free.
Free teacher education?
Exactly.
Do you mean pre-service? Do you mean that the teacher training colleges should be free, which are now there? Yeah,
exactly. The teacher training colleges should be free.
Why do you think?
Because people willingly want to become teachers. Some of them enter the colleges because they cannot afford the university education.
Okay.
Not that they are not good. but because they cannot afford. And here I said today, I have people, I have to pay their fees in training colleges, and they deserve to become teachers. They didn't go to university because there was no money. Not that they are not good, but here they can't even pay their fees now.
Yeah, that is an interesting point, especially in the context of government making senior high school free, and current discussions about reviewing senior high school to not make it completely free for everyone, but looking at progressive fee paying, such that people who can pay have the room to pay, and people who cannot have some subsidies. But essentially, I agree with him in principle that education is a right, and finance should not be a barrier to anyone who wants to access it. So I think it will be a great idea to make teacher training free when government have the capacity to do so. But it's also interesting to learn that there are people who will be interested in becoming teachers but do not have the finances to be able to afford that. Obviously, such an intervention would increase the number of qualified teachers we have in the country. I will be interested in your third suggestion.
My third suggestion is that the motivation of teachers should go down. So it should start at the grassroots. They should go back to the days where the districts will organize their awards, the regions will organize their awards, and then the national will organize their awards.
Okay.
It makes teachers more responsible. That's one word that I'll put it.
Yeah.
It makes teachers more responsible. Yes.
That's interesting. I didn't know about that, because I was aware when I was a student myself that teachers, there are district level, regional level. That means that is centralized at the moment.
Oh no, it's there. Yeah. It's there, but the award scheme at the district and the region level there's nothing to write home about.
Okay.
It's there. They are so organized in this. I want the district. I want region. But don't ask me, because I don't have any answer for you. Okay. I want the district. What did I win? I won a tablet.
Oh, I see.
The best teacher in my district.
Yeah, that's.
I want best teacher.
Yeah.
I won best teacher in Greater Accra. What did I get before I won national? And so the awards at the district, the region should also be, attractive.
Yeah. That is a very good point. And I didn't know this. Congratulations on winning the Best Teacher Award for your district, for the region and national. That is really a great feat, and well made point about the fact that people should not wait until they are national best teachers to get attractive rewards, and especially they should be done at the regional and the district level. Before I let you go, you have written some books. I can see that from your narration, these are books that you have written as part of your efforts to help students. Do you want to talk a bit about these books, and if people are interested in buying them, how do they get them?
Okay, so Girls and Ladies Greatness Guide is on Amazon. Can you please take it
again?
Girls and Ladies Greatness Guide.
Okay, Girls and Ladies Greatness Guide.
Yes, it's on Amazon. Beyond Today is on Amazon. Getting the Grades is also on Amazon. And you can support, you can donate to print out more copies of Getting the Grades for the young ones. Now, that book was written because I realized that children have challenges with their studies. And so I was looking at a comprehensive guide, a way to help them understand what they are reading a way to help them understand that it is not all the time that when you study, it will enter. The mind has to be ready. Your body has to be ready before you can study, before it can be absorbed. And so in the book, I have all those strategies there, the ways of learning, the laws of learning. They are all in there to equip and to help them, to prepare them for future examinations.
That is nice.
And
so
then
all of your books can be found on Amazon.
Yes,
okay.
Yes.
Yeah, sorry, you were going to say something.
Yes, and then the Girls and Ladies Greatness Guide too was written as a means to help the young girls to dream, to be great. And so in becoming great, in wanting to be great, what are the tools that I can have in my toolkit so that anytime I pick them, I know I'm on my way to the top.
Amazing.
And so they are all in there. Having having a vision, setting your goals right, having a mentor, dreaming and dream big, your dream plan. They are all in.
That is interesting. So listeners, if you are doing the listening and you'll be interested in getting these books, there are Girls and Ladies Greatness Guide, Getting the Grades Beyond Today. These are all books by our guest today, Stella Gyimaah Larbi. You can find them on Amazon. And she's also mentioned that by buying these books or by donating and supporting, she's able to print these books and give it out to students for free to support their progress and development. It's been such a pleasure talking to you. I think there's one important thing that I'll end with. What would be your advice if you are asked for any word of advice from new teachers who are just at the beginning of their career? What would be your advice to them?
Hello to you teachers out there, those desiring to be teachers and those who are already in service. I want you to know that you are the driving force to your seats. And so as a teacher, there are so many opportunities out there for you. You are the driving force to that seat. Don't give up. Keep doing the good things you are doing in the classroom. And trust me, the reward is not only in heaven. You can enjoy the reward here before you go. Because the Bible says that only the living, O Lord, can praise your name. And so it is as we are alive that we can praise God. And so keep working, keep doing, and you smile. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for that advice. For a moment, I thought I was in church. That's interesting. Keep moving and keep doing. Before I let you go, if people are interested in following you on social media, if you want to, you can share how people can get in touch with you on mediums that they wish to. If anyone is listening would want to get in touch, that is, if you want to.
Of course. So on LinkedIn, you can find me, Stella Gyimaah Larbi. On Facebook, Stella Gyimaah Larbi. On Instagram, Stella Gyimaah Larbi. And then also Youngsters and Teachers Hub. My organization is also there. You can find me on all those handles. Let's keep the conversation rolling and look at new strategies that can be implemented in your classroom.
Amazing. That is great. It's been inspiring talking to you, Stella, and I hope we will be able to host you another time. Listeners, if you're interested in following Stella's work, I'll put her social media handles in the show notes so you can quickly check them out, as well as the links to her books on Amazon if you are interested. So thank you so much, Stella. It's been amazing talking to you today on the Let's Talk Education podcast, and we hope to be able to continue this conversation another time.
Thank you, Mr. Senyo.
All right.